Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Through Solomon Scott Selections here for Monday, September 25th. For again, today's play of the day. Quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a nice winner in the NFL with Brandon Aubrey, Cowboys kicker, over 1.5 field goals at minus 125 on BetMGM. Never in doubt, made a second field goal in the third quarter. Made a third one again for the fun of it in the fourth quarter. Cowboys did lose in a shocking upset, but one of the reasons why they lost was something I mentioned on the video. The Cowboys are really bad in the red zone. And McCarthy's been a really bad red zone play caller. And as a result, the Cowboys did have to settle for a couple of short range field goals. But either way, Aubrey got there easily. Look for the winner here on Monday. And for today's play of the day, going to the NFL once again, look at a matchup between the Eagles and the Buccaneers taking place at around 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this game, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay tight end Cade Otton over 25.5 receiving yards at minus 110 on Bet365. Time recording of 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering why we're going to take Auden over 25.5 receiving yards. First reason, Auden is basically the only tight end on the roster that the Buccaneers use consistently, as Auden has played 97% of the snaps in each of the first two games. So once again, Auden should be on the field for basically every single offensive play, and that's going to result in more opportunity for him in the spot, especially since Auden is pretty involved as a pass catcher. Auden has run routes on a 76% of Tampa's passing plays. So he occasionally blocks, but he's mostly a pass catcher. And once again, with him being on the field all the time, I do think he should have opportunities against what is a pretty weak defense against tight ends, which I'll get into in a second. But on last week was pretty solid against Chicago, as he had 6 catches for 41 yards. And you're looking at the Eagles against the tight end position. They've been really bad. In fact, they've been arguably the worst team in the league at stopping tight ends. So far this season in 2 games, a reminder, 2 games, they've allowed 3 separate tight ends to record at least 36 yards. And to go through week 1, Hunter Henry had 56 yards and Jasicki had 36 yards. And then Hawkinson went nuts last week for 2 touchdowns and a bunch of yards. But the point is, the Eagles have really struggled with some injuries to the linebacking core, and their coverage has been a mess against tight ends. And I do think that Allen should be able to have some success with a pretty low receiving number here at 25.5. I think it's a pretty good matchup for him, and I expect him to go over. But Philly also should be able to force Tampa into throwing a lot more passes, because Philly has been very, very good against the run. The Eagles are allowing just 52 rushing yards per game, which is the fewest in the league. Makes sense. Their defensive line's very good. But the point is, Tampa hasn't exactly been a great running team anyway. Now you're looking at the best defense against the run. I do expect Tampa to pivot more to a pass-first game plan, which might result in even more opportunity for Auden in this matchup. But simply put, 25.5 receiving yards for a guy who's on the field all the time, a guy that had 41 yards last week, and once again, a matchup against the worst defense in the league against tight ends. I think it's a good spot. I think 25.5 is too low because of it. So play that once again here for Monday, September 25th is going to be on Cade Auden over 25.5 receiving yards at minus 110 on Bet365. Bye, everyone.